Let's try this one more time. Huh. Let me do my beautiful, beautiful, and hey, you can tell I'm a newbie. I completely forgot to go live. Shan, my friend from Shannon Van, she trained me well, but newbies do what newbies do. Welcome to my Valentine show, my inaugural show. Hey, I'm sort of losing my virginity on my Valentine show, so to speak. This is my first YouTube show. I still have my flowers up. Didn't know that was going to happen. But anyway, welcome and thank you for being my date. I wanted to open up by saying one of the reasons I started this channel was I thought in the climate that we are currently in that maybe we needed a place to go to chat about topics, current topics, and to really have a place for people to come and ask questions and get some answers. And maybe with my background in psychotherapy, that I could help you out with giving you some advice, suggestions, things like that. Someone is encroaching upon my territory while I'm on a live, so forgive me for looking around. He's just trying to help. But anyway, back to the channel. Anyway, if you have questions about relationships, whether it be family, romantic, dating, lack of dating, in this environment of being locked down, locked in, hey, shoot them to me. If I can give you advice, I would love to. I'm going to welcome callers here soon. But yeah, that's what I'm here for. I want this to be an environment where it's safe and we're kind to each other. Look, there's so much nasty. Is that a word? Let's say nastiness. There's good, funny stuff going on in YouTube, but there's a lot of nastiness going on in YouTube. I want this to be a kind place. Look, my channel is not going to be everybody's kind of place, and that is fine. I'm not everybody's kind of gal. That's fine too. But what I do want to be a place of is maybe you get support, maybe you get answers, maybe we laugh our butts off, maybe we say some crazy things, maybe we just hang out together. But bottom line, I want it to be a place of lifting each other up in light. I want it to be a place that we can come together for support if you need it. Maybe you'll make new friends. But if you come in here, it's not a place of biting and knocking each other down. It's a place of lifting each other up. So let's keep that in mind, okay? There's too much junk and shadiness going out in the world. So I want to make this a safe place. It's a no hater zone. Have you got it? So be that as it may, I'm really curious about what's going on in the dater world out there. I'm thankful I'm not in it, for one, because I was in it for a little while. Well, 2 little whiles. I've been divorced before. And let me just say, it's too much pressure for me. That dressing up and trying to see who you're going to like, who they're going to like, and trying to do the stuff. Yeah, I did some stuff. Let me rewind that. I don't want to make it sound like it sounds. I did some stuff on the internet. I didn't do that kind of stuff. I checked people out on the internet. You know, the dating sites my friends got me hooked up with. And some of it was hilarious, and I've got some stories to tell. I am sure you've got some stories to tell. But the way a lot of people portray themselves, it's hilarious. Sometimes it's sad. Sometimes you wish people just get to the point. If you want a booty call, say you want a booty call. If you're really looking for a relationship or a friendship, say that too. You know, when my friends had me on one of those chat or dating sites many moons ago, let me tell you, I was so against it when I finally did write my profile. And at that time, I just had my little boy. I put the picture of me and my little boy on there. And I was so straight and to the point. At the end, it was like, I'm divorced, I've got a little boy, these are my degrees, this is what I do, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, I don't play games, yada, yada, yada. Because I didn't want anybody wasting my time, and frankly, I was kind of hoping to run everybody away because I didn't really want to deal with it. Needless to say, I didn't run everybody away because in the end, that's how I found my husband. But poor guy, even when I met him, I put him through the ringer. Because when I initially did agree to meet him, the other part's a little long. I said, I'll meet you in a restaurant. I'm bringing my son. I'm not dressing up. I'm paying for my own food. And don't think you're getting lucky because you're not. Well, he was still there when I got there. So, years later, we're still together. And apparently he's not going anywhere. So, that being said, I would really like to know what it's like for you out there. Are you dating? Are you trying to date? Has it been a disappointment? And you think about Valentines. It's all good and fine, and it can be romantic or it could be repetitious. Flowers and candy and cards. Flowers and candy and cards is sweet. You get the flowers and candy and cards or go on a special date if you're a new couple. Are you trying to get away for a special occasion or make memories? But do we really need just that holiday to remind ourselves to tell the people we love that we love them? Or to make them feel special? Why do we feel like it has to be isolated to a day? That's what I want to know. Are we so busy in our world that we forget about the most important thing that we're really put on the earth for? To be kind to other people and love one another, and especially the people we're with? Should it be isolated to that day? That's what I want to know. And of course, it was created and there's a history behind it. But on the flip side of that coin, in this climate where we're all locked down, what does it do to the people that don't have somebody, that haven't found the significant other, that are lonely or have an illness or have been in other kinds of circumstances? We want to commercialize it and put it all over the air. Once upon a time, I was alone with a child out in the boonies somewhere. And I can remember letting that holiday get me down, make me blue, and trying not to think about it. Because it just reminded me that I was paddling the ship alone. And I had to stand on my own and be really strong and depend on me. And there was not a thing wrong with depending on me. Not a thing. But it's always easier if you have another person to help you paddle that boat, right? I think it is. But, in general, I have a lot of love in my heart. And even when I'm out in public, which these days we know, kind of rare, but even when I'm out in public, even if it's just a smize over the mask, I've had to learn how to do that. Smile with my eyes. Well, that wasn't very good. Have you learned how to do that? Smile with your eyes? So people know you're not like a hateful shooter behind your mask. But even if it's just to smize or, wave at somebody or open a door or be kind, I just feel like it's really important to show some kind of love or light or whatever to people on a daily. especially people that you love and live with. And I wanted to say one of the reasons that, and you may have asked yourself, that I chose the dragonfly as part of my logo is because the dragonfly spiritually represents light and growth and being able to adapt and change. And I really want this to be a place that maybe little by little, through everybody's connection, that we can adapt and grow and change and connect. And let's spread the light and love. Sorry, I can't sing. Maybe some of you can. But anyway, I would like to drop the link and see if anyone would like to share some of their stories. And yes, I am so new here. I want to grow. I hope people want to join me here and share their stories. And let's share some topics in here. We'll have important topics, funny topics. I'll probably pull topics out of our world or media. I will not be doing reality TV whatsoever, period. Not my bag. Not saying that I might not find something on unreality that I like to watch that I might share. Bad idea. But that being said, we'll have many topics that we have on here of interest. And if there's anything that you would like to hear on here or for us to cover as a group, please feel free. Forgive that door. My husband let our crazy dog in that likes to yodel at my daughter, and it is not a good idea, especially on my first show. What was he thinking? I don't know. It's for real here. Let me tell you. I'm down to earth. I'm human. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be mistakes. I'm brand new. So please forgive me. And I can hear my daughter laughing in the other room. Anyway, let me see if I can remember how to drop the link. Shan. Oh, there it is. There's what. Oh, I think I did it. Okay, let me know if the link is dropped. Did it drop or did it not drop? No, we will not have political discussions. No religion or political. No. I was always raised, you get in trouble when that happens. That would not be a place of light, I don't think. I think people in the room, because I want to attract all kinds of people in here, and I think it might cause heated discussions. Okay, Shan, I hit invite. I hit copy clipboard. Where is the link? Okay. There is the link. Would anyone like to join me? Who is Cole? I want to welcome everybody that's here. Kennedy, Jenny, Shan, Kim. Who else? Trey. So happy to see Trey. See Boss. Is that Cole? I'm guessing that's probably a yes. Hello, Cole. So, I've dropped the link. Does anybody want to join me? Thank you, Shan, my lifesaver. Yes, Kennedy, join me. Trey, you want to join me? Anybody got a story you want to share? Or you want to share what you're doing on Valentines? Would you like to share an experience you've had online dating? I know I had one connection online dating that told me he was a monk, a young Irish monk, who sent me many pictures. Very, very handsome. He sent me many pictures from different places on different days, even timed with a newspaper, because I didn't believe him. Of course, we never met in person. And then he felt guilty, he said, for having feelings for me, and defrocked himself. Whether I believe that story to this day, I don't know. But it would be an interesting book, would it not? I just don't know. Okay, let's welcome Kennedy to the chat. Hello, Kennedy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. How has your Valentine's Day been? Or early Valentine's Day, I guess.
Well, this is my Valentine's date so far, my first show, and I'm so happy you're here.
I'm so happy too. I'm so glad you did it today. Well, I was not expecting to join, but right now I'm cooking dinner. I decided to make a little something special. I went to the grocery store. I'm making roast chicken, asparagus, and...
Uh-oh, lost the sound.
Sorry, I had an alarm go off. So that's what I'm doing on my Valentine's Day, just to have a little something special here at home.
Good.
Kind of like a pre-date.
Well, that sounds good.
Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Sorry.
Uh-oh. So are you guys
Technical difficulties.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Oh, no.
Can you not hear me?
I don't know how to fix it.
Oh, no.
I should leave and join back?
Yeah, try that.
Okay.
Would anybody else like to join? I know, it's kind of awkward because it's my first show. But I really want to know what you do for Valentine's. I haven't done anything crazy for Valentine's in so long. We need JC Bear in here. Except he kind of gets risque. Have you ever done any kind of out-of-the-way things on Valentine's? I don't know that I have. How important is Valentine's to you? Okay. So
okay.
Do you do anything on Valentine's other than that?
So tomorrow I think we're going to go on our official Valentine's date. But today we also went to lunch. We went right before my nephew's second birthday party. It was very fun. But as far as celebrating tomorrow, I think we're going to go out for a nice dinner. And I'm not really sure about the rest of the day. But I do want to tell you, in Kennesaw, there is this very nice sushi restaurant, and basically what they do is they have a little conveyor belt that goes around to all the tables, and it'll bring the sushi to your table, and you could just pick it up off the conveyor belt and have it at your own little table. And I think we're gonna go there for our date tomorrow night.
So how do you know the people before you haven't diddled with your plate?
They're supposed to watch out and make sure that they don't, because you're not really allowed to take food off and put it back. But it's also just a big open area, so like it'd be kind of obvious if somebody did that. And the food is covered with a little, it's like a dome top that like pops off, so they wouldn't be able to really get that back on the right way anyways. So you would probably be able to tell if that's messed with, then don't take it.
Yeah, well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We've really enjoyed it the other time we went, so I'm very excited.
Good.
Yeah.
Have you known anybody to do online dating?
I've known a few, not a whole lot, because I'm 18. Most of my friends are just now old enough to online date, but there are a few success stories, but a lot of really funny, just crazy stories from them too.
Do you think that the guys usually lie more or the girls?
That the guys usually lie more?
Yeah.
I think mostly I have seen the girls bend the truth more, but I think that guys are probably more likely to make up a truth.
I think that the guys usually say they want more as far as relationships.
Right.
When they don't.
Yeah, I agree.
And the girls usually say they are more.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I definitely think that, that also plays on how people have higher expectations of women sometimes in the dating field, I feel like. So I feel like sometimes, they feel like they need to play themselves up when in reality they don't, because I'm sure that they're a great person as they are.
You are very right, and you are very smart at this stage of life. What do you think it's been like for a lot of your friends with, let's say we'll call it, instead of the virus, we'll call it Aunt Cora, with Aunt Cora being around?
I feel like a lot of my friends, even including myself, it's been really like lonely, and it's been really hard because I know a lot of people who they've gone on, online dating sites and stuff, trying to, you know, kind of find connections and stuff like that, but they're more hesitant to meet up with them because of the virus, and there's all sorts of other factors that go into it. So I think that for the most part, from my friends who I've asked, like, how is it, affected your life and affected you socially, they just say that it's been kind of a lonely time. And I feel like that's especially more so prevalent now with all the pressure from Valentine's Day to be with somebody and to make connections.
You think they're trying to make more emotional connections right now?
I would say that they are more likely to be trying to get on dating sites and make connections that way because of the fact that they can't go out very often. Like,
Right.
for me, I'm doing online college and I'm missing out on that college experience. So I feel like sometimes being online, well, first of all, we now have more time to be online,
Yeah.
because of quarantine, but also it's kind of a way of like, well, there's no other way for me to really meet up with people and meet new people when I'm at a stage in my life where I'm really supposed to be doing it more than ever before.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that that plays a big factor. And I feel like people have been doing online dating a lot more recently, even people who normally wouldn't do online dating.
Right. I mean, it kills me, especially for you and even my daughter and other people that were supposed to start college, because that's the time that you're supposed to figure out who you are.
Right.
And then you don't get the opportunity to break away and just to experiment and explore and just figure out who you are becoming an adult.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely put a lot of pressure, as well as just it's just generally harder to learn online as well, because it again, feeding into what we were talking about with human connection, it's really hard to even connect with your professors and communicate with them about assignments because it all has to be via email, and even the teachers are adjusting to it now and they don't always know. And I'm not saying they don't always know what they're doing, but it's new for them too.
Yeah. And it's less, I would think that it's probably less personal. They become
Yes.
more lackadaisical, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely like, especially when reaching out to them over email, it's a lot harder because normally, if I had to email one of my teachers in school, I would like to connect it with some experience that I had with them in real life, maybe make a little small talk because I know that they're probably having a hard day too. But it's a little bit harder when you don't know them as a person or you don't even really know how they are aside from how they've responded to your emails or maybe if they've sent a video in to really like know how you should communicate with them and what ways are the best to like talk to them and connect with them.
Yeah. Wow. I know that has to be so hard.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, but I'm getting through it. We're getting through it for sure. And I say I'm grateful to even get to go to college because I'm aware that, it's expensive and not everybody does get to go.
Right.
I feel like for that, I still should be grateful.
Well, you are so precious and you are so bright. I thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
She is just a doll, so smart. And I think about how all of this affects human connection and how important it is right now for all of us to have human connection and what it has changed. I mean, think about once upon a time, we all wrote letters, right? And the romance that was in letter writing and how it would go back and forth and touch you in a different way than things do now. Look, right, wrong, or indifferent, I was the kind of girl that I liked the chase almost better he's not around. I like the chase almost better than the relationship. I'm not going to lie. I like the excitement of notes or what's going to happen next, or just the feeling of what are they thinking, or just trying to figure the other person out, the newness. Sometimes what we're doing now sort of takes the life out of it. Even with, I don't know what it's like now when you're trying to text and date. How much do you really dive down into a person? I want to know from the chat, I want to know from somebody that will talk to me what it's like as far as romance. Does that even exist anymore? Somebody want to come up and talk to me? Is romance still alive? Is it? Do people even write letters or love notes anymore? Do they? I mean, maybe that's why there's still a market on all of those cheesy love stories. You know, those $5 books you can go buy. Now, I don't read those books. I don't know why that hasn't hit my fancy. But I do like the thought of romance. Remember when you're in middle school or high school? Shoot, go back to elementary school. You send those notes. Do you like me? Yes or no? How many of you sent those notes out? Or got one? Do you like me? Yes or no? Have I lost everybody? Is everybody gone? Hey, can you hear me now? Are you still there? I can't even tell. I can't even tell how many people are still in here. Jenny, you would have been 5 years old then, 4 years old, 6 years old. Can anybody tell me where I can see how many people are still in the room? Why can't I see this? Hello? Oh, 11 people are viewing. I see the eyeball. I have so much to learn. I just wonder, texting. Texting, is there romance over texting? What about, is it more texting or sexting? And you know what? We can't even be your secret admirer. Is that even possible anymore? Because if you call someone, your name comes up on the phone. Oh, Jenny wants someone to explain sexting to her. Shan, will you come up with me and explain sexting to Jenny? Would you? Please? Shan, are you still here? Would you come up and explain sexting to Jenny? Oh, she's begging. Shan! Sexting. You know, it's like when you get down in messages. Me explain it? Come on now. I got $1 in the other room. Don't make me do that. Shan. I hear laughter throughout my household. Where is Shan? Did she leave? Okay. This is when you send naughty messages to each other. Okay. Have you ever heard of those stories? Or like women read those stories? Okay. Let's say, what is it? 50 Shades of Grey? It's like 50 Shades of Grey over texting. Okay? Until you get one or the other hot and bothered and they take care of their own business. That's what I think it is, right? Is that correct? Am I correct? People in the Peanut Gallery. I do believe that's the correct definition of sexting. Because they can't be together. Otherwise, they would be video chatting. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. That would be nasty. Well, I guess it wouldn't be nasty if you mom my ears. What have I done? She's a legal adult. Um, if you're in a monogamous, serious relationship and you're doing it over video chat, that would be appropriate. I do not believe you should do that with strangers that you do not know because they can use it against you and put it all over the internet, and what goes on the internet stays on the internet. Remember that. Remember what happened to Paris Hilton. Remember what happened to uh, Kim Kardashian. Hello, my Shan. How are you?
I'm good. I love that you call me for the naughty chat.
Well, of course. JC Bear's not here.
Okay, well, there's a lot of different definitions of
What did I
say
it right?
Yeah, that's one. That's definitely one version.
Oh, was there a different one?
Well, like there's a lot of different versions of sexy time. There's a lot of different versions of sexting. Right?
Okay. But see, my daughter was on this, so I was trying to.
Mine's over there, which is why I was trying to like get out of the room. I was trying to like busy before I came on over. So here I is. Little baby ears. Yes, Eden. Do you have to go feed the dog?
Well, she's 19, so.
Okay, so Jenny, give me a little context. How far in are we? Eden, you don't have to go. Yeah, but you don't really have to go, Eden. But yes, Jenny, give me some context. How far in are we? Okay, so if we are just online chatting, we've just met somebody on an app, and how far in are we?
Okay. ASMR.
Yes, it's my new mic. I want to test out its capabilities. For future knowledge, she said. Okay, so it's like, there's always going to be that guy that you meet on an app that's going to want you to dirty talk right away. I don't do that. I'm not going to give you dirty text right away. No. I think that's a red flag.
Yes.
But if it's your husband and he's on a business trip, you should know what to say by text, knowing your husband or knowing your boyfriend. But if it's a guy that you are trying to get to know better, you've been on a couple of dates, don't be too explicit because, again, you're giving him the milk for free. So basically, to me, sexting is just being intimate with your mind. It's like those love letters that Dana was talking about, but in text. I wouldn't share images personally.
Okay.
I only share images with a significant other because you never know what's going to happen with those images. But that's what a lot of sexting is, are images. That's the truth.
That's common. She said she had guys send her pictures of their hoo-haws and she blocks them. Good girl.
Let's pin that image let's pin that message so I can read it. What are you reading so I can read it? Look at that. Look at that. Look at me coaching you.
Thank you.
Okay, I've had guys send me pics of that. Did you block them because it wasn't a good picture? You're like, I don't want to work with that. Never mind. Bye. Thank you next. Thank you next. By the way, do you maybe there's a problem if you thought it was a hoo-ha, that's why you blocked it. I only called
good point, because I call that a hoo-ha. It's a Virginia.
Right? Virginia, all busy. Oh, busy. Okay, so that's my definition of sexting. For me, sexting has different levels, just like sex has different levels. Does that answer your question, Jenny? So just like you start with, hand holding, then you move to kissing, then different bases. So I think that sexting has different bases as well.
I think it's a beautiful thing to use your mind to be intimate. And it doesn't have to be just about, you don't have to use verbiage about sexual organs.
Who has? Because that's also going to tell you a lot about the man. If he just wants to get right to it, then you know what he's going to be like elsewhere.
I mean, you can say a lot and get intimate in a way that never says anything about even intimate the person's sexual organs whatsoever. You know,
I'm going to be so polite on someone else's channel.
no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's like I was talking about the chase, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just, it's the same thing. If you are back in the day before we had cell phones and we texted, if you were on a date with a guy and he was dropping you off at the house, and instead of leaning and giving you a kiss on the cheek, he went and tried to grab your breast, you were like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same idea with sexting. If right away he's sending you a picture of his business, of his junk, okay, bye.
I mean, think about it. I mean, the education of it goes all the way back to high school if you really, really think about it. Sorry, teenage boys that might watch this. Or not sorry, maybe.
Okay,
But
so elaborate on what you mean.
a lot of the times, the boys that go after the girls that can just hit it and get it, right? They're just trying to hit it and get it. That's it, right?
Right.
Their focus is just to have sex.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
They look at you as an object, an orifice. Well, I never wanted to be somebody's orifice. They can go buy that at the store. I wanted people to get to know me, period. The depth of who a person is. Maybe I'm a weirdo. Maybe I'm a flake.
You
Maybe.
just said orifice and depth. Come on now.
Well, hey. Yes, you can put the double entendres in there.
Eden has an amazing look at this. What an amazing woman someone raised Eden to be. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She said in the comment here, talk about non-sexual forms of intimacy, how important those are.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Look at this girl, this woman, I mean. Look at this young woman.
There are non-sexual forms of intimacy like the written word, getting to the depth of who a person is. Emotions. I'm just digging myself deeper.
Hey, Jenny! Oh!
Hey!
What did you do to Jenny?
It's a device that's not connected. Where are you, Jenny? Why didn't you connect your device? We're sitting here talking about it.
Well,
Jenny, come back up here.
The host might need to let her up.
I tried to.
I shouldn't give you such a hard time. So, what can women do to help young men learn about these connections that Eden is referring to?
Well, I feel like it has to be more of a, maybe kids aren't spiritual enough. We can't really expect them to be, but look at what we throw at them all the time. Look at what we throw at them on television, on radio, on magazines, on YouTube, on everything. We don't teach them how to go within. We don't. Everything is surfacey.
Right.
We don't teach them how to get in touch with themselves within, much less everything else. I'm not saying 100% of everybody, of every parent, of every human, because Lord knows most of us as adults don't know how to.
Exactly.
Or it takes years for us to figure it out.
Exactly.
Jenny, come back.
Come back, Jenny, and I will make room for you and this lovely Dana.
What?
There she is.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, loud and
Okay,
clear.
sorry, I had to like plug myself in and yeah, you're just not getting the image right now, but I'll talk. I need to talk about this dating thing.
Okay.
I don't know how to date. Guys, I met my husband when I was 18 and we got married. Well, 10 years we dated, but I mean that's just one guy. I mean, I trained him from he was 17. So
Yeah.
this dating stuff is for the birds. And I don't understand why it has to happen when I'm in lockdown because how does one do that? So I have been online. I haven't been like on any dating sites because I'm really not out to be dating right now. But you do start to talk to people on social media apps and stuff, and you get to know people and you feel connection. And then some people it's just like surface level, and you're like, this is you're not part of my soul family. And then you just like keep searching for people that you connect with, and a lot of times it's like friendships and girlfriends, and then sometimes you're like confused with like certain guys. And I have to tell you, I was so confused with this one guy, and Dana knows my story. And Dana, you don't know this part. I was talking to this guy, and the last thing that happened was he revealed his feelings to me, which was like shocking because he never would. And I was like, oh wow. And 2 days later, closed his account. So is that not a red flag for like, someone's not being who they say they are? And I think because I'm like intuitive, I think he got caught. I think he had like a yeah.
Yep, I shouldn't. I'm not going to put my jadedness on it, but I have a similar. I don't want to say similar story to you, but I was with my high school sweetheart for a really long time, and then I was single and enjoyed being single. But I think having the lockdown is actually a gift for you to be able to have the opportunity to date without the physical getting in the way.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree with that. And I also just want me time because I'm kind of falling in love with myself. And I think women, I am so awesome. I'm just telling you right now. And so are you, Shan, and so are you, Dana, and so is
Thank you.
everyone in the chat. And
And I hope everybody in the chats put the thumbs up so that this channel gets traction.
Thank you.
I mean, men and women alike just need to know their self worth, but I really think women need to recognize their divine feminine. They need to reach within, pull that out. I mean, this started with us when we were young kids and young girls, and we need to just own it. We need to own our. I mean, the right person will come to you if you love yourself, but you can't really love that person until you love yourself. And I'm just falling in love with myself again. And I hope every woman out there tonight is doing that too, because you are awesome. You are beautiful. You are stronger than you think. And I'm just like, listen to me.
Go, Jenny.
Right?
Just
Burn your bra.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not wearing a bra. Who needs a bra? Get rid of your bra.
I got on two because I like them so much.
You know what? My dog knows I'm leaving the house because I put my bra on. So he's like, oh, she's definitely leaving.
Oh, you guys are hilarious.
Yeah. And Billy crawled out with it on his head the other day. I took a picture. It was like, where did you even find that? Like, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
He's funny.
So, did I answer your question about
You
sexting
did.
though? That
I
there's
guess my
different degrees?
question was, is this because I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you, I talked to them and she was like, look, this is my relationship advice because she's a genius. And she goes, and by the way, if you do want to have fun, just try sexting. It's more fun than the real thing sometimes. And I'm like, what the heck is that? So thank you for my soul family for filling me in and the chat on my naivety. Is that a word?
I say naivete.
Naivete because it's been since I was like 18 and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I learned the hard way about the photos. Like, but I didn't. Whatever. Live and learn. Live and learn.
Okay, we got Billy. Billy just woke up, so I'm gonna run and grab him. But y'all have a good night. Thank you,
too.
and know your worth, know your self-worth, and love yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, JC Bear's here. Speaking of
And JC Bear, hugs,
JC Bear.
bear hugs, JC.
Oh, and I'm gonna let you be with Kim. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim. Hey, Kim.
Hey, sweetheart.
My child wants his dinner, and you two
All right.
Southern ladies, what do you think of my attempt of a Southern accent?
Loved it. Loved it.
It was so good to be on.
We'll teach you.
Oh, thank you.
I love you, Shan.
Love you back, girl. And thank you for having me on your very first live. You're doing an amazing job, darling.
Thank you, Shan.
Bye.
Bye. Hey,
Okay,
Kim.
well, I got everything to work except the camera, so we're just going to go with it.
Okay.
You're doing so good. I love the show. I wanted to say, don't everybody give up on online dating, though. You need to discern the person, the spirits, their temperament. I met my husband on Plenty of Fish, and we had been together every single day since the day we met 9 years ago, except for when I was just in the hospital.
Wow.
But the day that we met, we went on a nature walk, and I knew right then I was going to marry him. And like I said, he is just amazing. So don't give up. Jenny, you just got to find a good one, because let me tell you what, there are plenty of frogs out there that did not turn into a prince.
It sounds like you've got a good man for sure.
I do. I do. God has made him for me and me for him, and don't give up.
I know. It's just a lot of lessons out there. The world's a lot different. You know, sometimes I feel like some of us were born in the wrong time.
I know that's right. I know I was. But he never asked for, we've been married 9 years. He's never asked for a dirty picture. He flirts. We still flirt with each other. Like I said, I leave notes in his lunchbox and just stuff like that. He surprised me on my 50th birthday with a room full of balloons and a cake and everything else. So he's awesome.
Well, I am so happy for you. He sounds like a sweetheart.
And I'm happy for you. And Jenny, we're gonna take care of it. You're gonna get one too.
Yeah, just make sure she doesn't get the bad ones.
I know, right? You hang up on them, you destroy their number, block them. There was one guy, and I'm gonna just put out there for a warning. There was one guy that kept demanding that I give him my address, and he was from Florida, and I'm in Alabama, so I wasn't going to do it. I don't know you. No, I'm not giving you my address. And then it went from that to the sexual favors he wanted. So there are bad ones out there too. And it's not just the men. My husband and I have compared stories to the people we've met and people we talked to. And I'm not going to give an example because it'd be rude and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but women do lie just as much as men.
Oh yeah, I mean, plus men get some of the crazy women too. So it's just all around, you know.
Yeah, he had a couple of crazy ones, but I don't know. We live parallel lives, and like I said, there's somebody for everybody, and I know God created him for me and me for him, and it's awesome.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you, Dana. I'm so glad you're on here. You just made I honestly thought it was tomorrow night. I am sorry. I had it down wrong.
Y'all
But
have to help me because I was scared to death.
I know you were, baby, but I got a notice came through, and I was like, what? And it was like Dana's on. I was like, oh my gosh, I started tripping over myself to get on here.
Well, I sure appreciate you.
I appreciate you and your show. You're going to do awesome, and there's going to be so many people helped through this. And I've shared it on everything, and we're going to do good.
Thank
You
you.
got it. You got it.
Oh, and Kim has, tell them what your show's name is.
It's Unashamed, Break the Silence, and on YouTube, it's unashamed underscore Kim. And then I've also got Facebook now, and I'll post it all in your comments too.
Okay. And Shannon's with Shannon Van, which means Shannon Vancouver, not Annie Van.
And Jenny is, what is it? Girl Meets 40.
Yeah.
So that's how you get all of us. And then of course Fem Tarot.
Yeah.
But I love you, and I'm just so proud of you. I think you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I will talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm so glad to see people coming in here. Hopefully we will grow and grow and grow. I do want people to be safe when they're chatting online, but I also want people in the environment with Aunt Cora that we're in to be able to reach out and connect, because this is a time where there is a lot of heaviness going on and it's easy to get depressed. I mean, I go through my spells where I'm up, I'm pumped, I'm staying busy, and then all of a sudden I might find myself blue or a little bit down. And I have to try to unwound and get into that cup half full again. So it's a choice sometimes, but it's a choice that you have to work for, and you have to allow yourself to reach out and connect with other people. Yeah, we're talking about Valentines and romance and all that stuff tonight, and it is important. Like Jenny said, she's out there trying to date. Yeah, Jenny, she doesn't have a channel. She has a blog right now, Girl Meets 40, which is a really great blog. I must read. But anyway, getting back to, we have to find ways to get out there and connect with each other, to be funny, to laugh, to dance, to try to do things to lift us up. Look, if I'm dancing or if I'm laughing, even if I'm blue, it's hard to be blue and laugh at the same time. So find ways to kind of snap yourself out of it. Mr. J.C. Bear is in here. I would love to have him on if he wants to come on to talk about experiences with, sort of connecting with people on a talk, Dana, spit it out, a deeper level, and getting back to, connecting through writing or really connecting online like we're doing now because of Aunt Cora, if he's still around, if he wants to. But be that as it may, does anyone else have a story about how you're dating or a crazy occurrence where you thought someone was really great and then you go out on a date and you're like, oh, what the heck did I just do? I had when I was single with Noah, I had Lord have mercy, if he ever hears this, you got in here in time? Jesse Bear, you want to come on? He was a neurologist student. He just got divorced, wanted to date me. Here's a rule of thumb. When Aunt Cora is gone, if a guy wants to meet you and you've been talking a long time online, do not drive to where he is. Do not go to where he is. If he is in another state or another country, make him come to you. Because if it is worth it to him, he will drive to you. He will come to you. He will fly to you. Are you hearing me, females out there? Do not drive, fly, get in a boat, go to him. If he wants to know you, meet you in person bad enough, he will come to you. Oh, yeah, I got to drop the link. Sorry, JC Bear. Newbie problems. Oh, what did I just do? Invite. See, I'm having to remember. Sorry, guys. Once I get used to this, it'll be second nature. But I have empathy for YouTubers now that I'm learning because Lord have mercy. Did it come up? No? Yes? I'm dropping the link. Anybody want to come on with me? I dropped it. Do you want to pick it up? And come on with me. Hey, JC.
Hey, bear hugs to everybody in the room. Happy Valentine's Day, or in my case, Happy Single Awareness Day.
I'll be your Valentine.
Ooh, is that chocolate?
No, it's just sparkly.
Ooh, sparkly glitter. Okay, enough with the glitter. So what's up? I was out grocery shopping late, and I got the text, and then I got stuck because there was a fire alarm in my building, and I'm like, I can't get upstairs.
What do you think about, maybe I'm a sucker, but I like the thought of, back in the day, not that far in the day, but writing romantic letters.
Oh my God. It's so funny because I was doing some cleaning, and I have letters from people I was involved with. Because of my journey, I was pursuing women and then accepting myself and then came out. But I have letters from like my early to mid 20s of women that I would correspond with back and forth because they'd either be at university or at school. And I think we lost all that when technology came in. And I think it actually shows a lot of effort when you're sitting down and you really have to think about what you're writing in ink to somebody. You have to really think about what you want to convey and what you want to say to somebody. And I think it means more nowadays when you get a letter from somebody like that, because you know that they put the effort in to get that. And I think that it's actually a really great romantic gesture. It's the same thing, like a lot of people when they give cards, they'll just sign their name, right? But I remember getting cards on any little gift, be it Valentine's, Christmas, birthdays, where people were like, I really enjoyed getting to know you this year if they were new friends, and joking and passing little quips back and forth. And I think that shows a really great effort on both parties when they do it.
I can read things back in my high school annual even, where people like wrote.
Yeah, exactly.
And you read it and it just brings back a feeling.
Oh yeah, of who you were with. Like the letters that I had went through, I remember like the girl I dated who went off to the University of Guelph. I remember being a substitute for someone's prom date, and we continued writing with each other. And, back in the day when proms weren't always about the limos and big parties, it was like you picked up your date, you brought a corsage. The guy usually sweated if he brought a corsage.
Yeah.
That had to be pinned on the girl's chest. And basically the mom and the dad were there, and she had maybe a low cut dress, and you're like, I don't know where I can pin this without touching something. So the mom had to intervene. All those old memories, they all come flooding back.
Like, here's a for instance, and this is a little off course, but not. But I was looking on my computer trying to figure something out, and I pushed a button, and a bazillion digital pictures popped up of my daughter Eden over the years, and then my son Noah that I lost, that I had forgotten that I had. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I told Eden, I said, I better get them in hard copy because I'm scared to death something will happen to a computer or whatever. And I would rather have them in something I can hold.
Yeah, because all those feelings come back. I think I understand what you mean, because at one point, that's all we had. That's all we had was that one photograph that, you put away so that it wouldn't fade and stuff like that.
I mean, what is it about the difference of something that you're seeing in your hand, and I understand exactly what you're saying. When someone takes the energy to write it down, and they're putting their thoughts and their heart and soul into it, that's why I tell somebody, if you're in a conflict with someone, right, and you're not speaking sometimes, rather than a
Mhm.
phone call or a text, if you sit down and you write your feelings down in a letter and you
Oh
give
yeah.
that letter, that is something they're going to actually read again and again and
Oh,
sit down and
definitely.
process.
But it's the same process when I love it because that type of thing can also help you write out to people that have passed that you never had a chance to as well. Like when you're grieving, you can write all the things that maybe you wanted to say. You don't have to mail it, but if you do, or if you want to hand it to them, you can too. I love that technique. I have done that too. Things that I wanted to say to my parents.
Yeah,
I've written it out, and I may have, took it and did a ceremonial burning of it or something like that. But I love that technique because it forces you to really say something from your really deep down private feelings. And it's also very therapeutic to be able to say something like that. I totally get where you're I've done that too, and it's helped me in different situations, as opposed to just getting mad
yeah.
or upset.
I just think that what has happened in our world and the major changes that we have had to experience in the last year has created this huge shift.
Oh yeah, I mean, if would the same impacts have happened if we were all at work and going about our regular lives, as opposed to being at home, witnessing things happen as they did. I think, like, I've heard things on it about the Great Reset and so forth, but I think people are missing some of the actual social awakening that's going on, and sometimes it can be very painful.
Yeah,
And in instances where you are alone, or living alone, I should say, it can be very isolating because there's only so much that you can do via phone. Or years ago, there was no YouTube, there was no Zoom, there was none of that face to face. So if we were in this situation back then, literally visually, we wouldn't even be able to connect.
no,
I wouldn't have met half the people on here. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met the people in the room. None of that would have occurred. So I think we may have been worse off, but I think although this is a very tough time, I think we will come out better for it. In my opinion, that's how I view it.
that's a good point because, I never watched shows on YouTube until this pandemic happened.
Same here.
I mean, I would watch videos, actual videos, where people put them out there and there was a beginning. I never watched any live anything.
Oh, same here. I usually watch music videos or, some of the old stuff from the 80s and 90s that I missed or that they don't play anymore. But the actual interaction with people or visually seeing people and so forth, and knowing, yeah, that is a real person on the other end. They're not being a one of these keyboard warriors coming around and deciding to just spew off different things and then run away, right? And it's really very different when you get to look into somebody's eyes and you want to say something.
Yeah,
That gives a different shift. I learned that from jury duty. It's like when you're standing up and you're passing that verdict, it is a lot more. It is a lot more harder to look at another human being and actually say something either negative or positive, depending on what emotions you're feeling.
Yeah.
But I totally get that. I'm really hoping that this whole thing is shifting to a better place for everybody.
Yeah. I hope so too. And I really hope to make people laugh tonight. I don't know that I did so much of that, but my point is this is my first show. I want everybody to be able to connect on here. I do want people to be able to bring problems and questions and how to handle different things to me if they want to ask,
Or
because
a different perspective too.
yeah, it's part of my expertise. But of course, I was a nervous wreck, and I'm still
Oh,
learning.
you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. I love your voice. You have such a calming voice when you speak to people. You have no idea. I can totally sense the empathy and the love from your voice when you're talking about real situations and real emotions and totally. You should not feel any bit nervous. I think you're more nervous about the technology, but trust me, you got that voice where you know that you care.
Good. That's what I hope to put forth anyway.
Oh, you did. And for the ladies in the room when you're doing online dating, I know I've talked to Shan about this as well. It's like always, you you have to protect yourself, but you have to put yourself out there. So you have to be smart, you know. Um, do do the video call. Make sure that the person you're meeting is that person. And you know what? I don't know, Dana, if you remember, back in the early 2000s, there was something called It's Just Lunch.
No, I'd never heard of
Oh,
that.
okay. For single people, if they were getting together, instead of having a whole production of an evening date and so forth, you would do your initial meeting for just lunch. Like you would just go to lunch with the person for that hour, like because you had to go back to work and so forth.
That's
And there's
smart.
nothing wrong with that because then you can actually get a feeling of who you're meeting. But with the online world, pictures can be photoshopped.
Hmm.
Like protect yourself, do a video call with them. You can always block their number. Um, and ladies, don't be afraid to say what you want and what you're looking for.
And always
Straight up.
tell a friend where you're going.
Oh yeah, in the old days when we were doing like the old party lines or a chat, you always had a buddy system, or you texted a friends like, "Oh, I'm meeting so and so." You know your iPhones, any Android phone. You take a picture of their profile. This is who I'm meeting, and give me like we used to have the buddy system of
Uh-oh.
and and if you answered it, it means yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, things are going well. Or sorry, I gotta go. I just got a page or a text from for the ladies who have kids. I just got a text from my kids' school. I gotta go. I gotta go handle it. So that way you have yourself an out. If you're finding yourself, if your gut feeling is saying, "This guy is giving me that sense of decency," always plan an escape route, that type of thing. But I agreed with
Yeah.
what you were saying earlier. If you want to connect with people, you got to put yourself out there some way, somehow. And it doesn't matter whether it's in the heterosexual community or the LGBTQ community. There's different nuances, but the basic thing is the same.
I mean, we were not made to be alone and isolated. We weren't.
No.
I mean, I don't see how people just. Well, I mean, I had my child, and I did it for a while, but I had the need where even if I didn't meet anybody, I needed to connect with people.
Oh God, yeah. There's nothing like. That's why some people are surprised, but I love giving hugs. You give hearts, I give bear hugs. It's just, and it's not meant in any way. It's just that it's really great when you're holding somebody in their arms and you really mean it because you like them, and it's just a really good feeling, not only for them potentially, but for yourself too.
Well, I mean, I give hugs in person. I give hearts on. I want to send people love online, but let's be honest. When I try to give other emojis on my computer, it locks up. So
Oh
that's
my
one
god.
reason I give hearts.
No, but I always see you giving hearts, and I'm like, yeah, Dana gives love, I'll give bear hugs.
But you know, physiologically, it's important for us to have X amount of hugs
Oh
because it
yeah,
helps our health, our immune system, our emotions, everything.
yeah. I mean, and I mean, as adults, yes. As kids, I have learned through my nieces that sometimes they don't want to be hugged, and I go, that's okay because they don't feel like they don't want to hug, and I'm like, that's okay, but at least I can blow you a kiss, and they say, okay, fine, hug. And when they want to hug, I give them a hug, so that way they know they're in control of whatever they're feeling at that time. I
Right.
don't want. I used to hate when my parents or other relatives used to say, "Well, no, go hug them. You have to hug them." It's like, well, if I and I remember when I was younger, it's like, well, I don't feel like hugging them. It's like, yeah, okay, you don't want to hug me, that's fine. You'll hug me next time I see you. And sure enough, next time I see them, it's like, no, hugs got to go. You got to stop the hug, right?
Yeah,
But
you
I
want
do
to
know.
look at, sorry.
Oh no, no. But I do know what you mean. It's like, um, it's nice just I know it's going to sound corny, but sometimes just nice holding hands.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything. You could be watching a movie together, and you got an arm around you, or you know you're just holding each other's hands. Sometimes that light squeeze or something like that, if it's a romantic date, can mean the world.
And I know I'm going to have to wrap up here in a minute, but just to make your point, I saw an article and I watched a video of a young man. I forgot what city he's in, and he may be 20 now, but at the time it was probably a year or so ago, 19 years old, and he was working on a bridge, driving heavy duty machinery, the real big kind, because they were doing construction on a bridge, and it was where they had the one lane going, and they had the soft dirt to the side, and a car was coming toward him, not paying attention to the directions that they were trying to gear the traffic. And you're always supposed to heed way to the construction equipment. And so the young man driving the equipment wanted to kind of get out of the way of the car because he knew the car was going fast, and if they hit, he would definitely die. So he led way to the car, even though he had right away. And long story short, because the dirt was soft, the big equipment flipped, and
Oh
he was
no.
he was gonna jump from it, which he could have made it, but the pants leg or whatever, his leg got caught. He ended up losing his body from his pelvis down and one arm.
Oh wow.
So he has from his pelvis bones down nothing.
Wow.
No pelvis bones, nothing, and no arm. So he has no genitalia, no pelvis bones, no legs, missing an arm. Engaged to his sweetheart. So they cannot be intimate in that way. He right now has sacs to take care of all functions, and they're trying to give him an arm, and he's in a wheelchair. His girlfriend, still in love with him, still thanks God he's alive, and full on takes care of him.
Oh my God, that is heartbreaking, but so much hope, so much light in that story.
She doesn't know how long he has. He could have forever because he's healthy. Otherwise, he's healthy. And they've never had a case of someone that young for that kind of situation to occur. So they do not know. And she's there for whatever. And he has a good attitude because he's just happy to be alive.
It's stories like that that really show you, puts in perspective for everybody
Yeah.
what to aspire to.
That's love.
Yep. Yep. I can totally see that. It's like, oh my God, that is so, like I said, that is so, at first when you were talking, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Like in my head, I'm going, where's this going?
Right.
But that is so, it's just very heart wrenching, but so much hope and so much, it's just a perfect example.
I mean, look how young they are.
Oh, I know. And just starting out.
And the love is just, it radiates from both of them. It doesn't matter.
And that is so, it's inspiring. For me, that's such an inspiring story to achieve and to get there. And I think everybody can take a lesson from it.
Yeah.
When we're actually either, dealing with somebody else, or when we're trying to connect with somebody else, is this somebody that I could love that much, that I could do that?
So, when you're out there dating everybody and you're looking for what you need, dig a little deeper. And don't be too shy to, or intimidated even, to look at the core of who you are, figure yourself out, and just be real out there.
Exactly. And don't afraid, especially for the ladies, don't be afraid to say no. I'm not gonna settle if the other person's not going to make you happy, or gives you some type of sense that they can make you happy as well. I mean, relationships ebb and flow. You're going to have fights. You're going to have arguments. But once you know yourself, you should know, what you want in that partner, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever that you want.
You're so
I think,
wise.
yeah. Well, I try. I mean, I have failed. Hey, I've had my failures. I've learned from them. And also remember, and I heard this on a live last night, each of you have a crown, and don't let anybody take that from you.
Yeah, that's true. But, that crown is one that you've got to give yourself and earn it.
Yeah, nobody else can give it to you. We can all support you. We can all cheer you on, but you got to have that, and you got to believe that you're worth it. And you know what? From the ladies that I've met on YouTube, y'all are worth it. And you know that. See, I said y'all, and I meant, and in the right way, meaning a whole group of yous.
Yeah.
Right? But you are. You just, but I can tell you that, but you got to believe it in yourself.
Almost definitely. And you are a sweetheart, JC.
I try.
Thank you
so. So you
so
going to drop
much.
me down, or do you want to? We can still talk. I mean, I love talking to you. I love hearing your voice. So.
Well, I think that because I guess you're supposed to go after an hour. I don't know all the rules. Is that what the rule is? Why does everybody leave after an hour? I'm already over an hour.
Well, that's for me. That's for the bear.
I mean, why do they do that? Is it some kind of YouTube rule?
I think it's, from what I understand, I don't know whether your StreamYard cuts you off,
Maybe.
or whether people usually, they say that's the optimal time for a YouTube show.
Yeah.
I think you just have to gauge it as to how things are going, and how things are progressing. And if there's anybody else in the chat that wants to come up, or has a question, or just wants to vent, like.
Well, I think I probably should wind it down, because I think we're down to 4 people. Huh?
Oh, don't worry. That's going to be 4,000 before you know it.
But I sure do appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you too. I always, you know what? After speaking with you, or even seeing your chats or hearing from you on other lives, I always feel better.
Oh, good. I hope to make this an every Saturday thing. Well, I want to do it at least twice a week.
Oh yeah, and plus, spread the word.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying.
thought you were on. Yeah, like I said, when I got the notice, I was stuck downstairs, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm missing it. But now I'm subscribed. I got the alarm on, that little bell thing. So definitely, when you're on, I can either, if I'm at home, I'll connect in. If not, I'll connect via my phone.
Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's to everybody.
Yes, bear hugs. Happy Valentine's. And if you're single, trust me, you are loved and you are wanted and you are worth it. So don't ever put yourselves down.
That's right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me on, Dana. Be good.
You are most welcome. Now I got to figure out how to do my outro. Bye.
Ciao.
Da 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 da.